Welcome back. I'm your host Diana for speaking into the void. Pause for a second. Saying that feels different. Definitely something I have to get used to. But hey, that's the beauty of life. Learning to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. But anyways, how have all of y'all been? I can't believe we're already ending the month of March. Like, time is literally flying by. Life has been lifing on my end, but I'm doing my best to pull through. I hope you're all hanging in there too. Before we dive into all the deep and floating conversations, I figured I should introduce myself so you know who's actually talking to you. So, hi, I'm Diana. A little about me, I grew up in Los Angeles. My dad is from Mexico, my mom's from Guatemala, and I grew up speaking mostly English. They taught me English, they taught me Spanish within, later within my time when I was a little bit older, like, I don't know, like 5 or 6. I was a late bloomer to Spanish. So, in other words, I speak Spanglish, if you consider that as a language. So, I was born on October 7th, which makes me a Libra. So, if you're all into astrology, yes, I fit into some of the traits, not all, but enough to make me question it. I'm also the youngest of 2 sisters, which probably explains a lot. I'd say I'm a pretty easygoing person. I get along with most people. If you want to know exactly what kind of person I am, just Google Libra traits. And there you go. Just kidding, but also not really. Fun fact, when I was in the first grade, my teacher told my mom I was a talking butterfly. At the time, I had no idea what she meant, but now, yeah, I get it. I can definitely carry a conversation, and I guess I've always had a lot to say. So here I am, talking into a mic and turning it into a podcast. Now, let me just say, this first episode took me forever to record because I'm an overthinker. I wouldn't call myself a perfectionist, but I do want to master this journey of podcasting. And honestly, I have to brainstorm before I record because my mind is always like, squirrel. I get distracted so easily. I'm doing my best to stay on topic because, as my first grade teacher said, I'm a talking butterfly. Oh, and another thing. Just so you know, I like to think I'm funny. Whether or not that's true, I'll let you decide. But I will most likely crack a joke here and there because life is too short to be serious all the time. So if you hear me laughing at my own jokes, just pretend they're funny, okay? Even if you don't think I'm funny. I'm also learning to be more open because throughout my life, I didn't really know how to be vulnerable or speak my truth. I was always afraid of what others thought of me. My childhood trauma happened at a young age, and I know that has shaped a lot of who I was growing up and even who I am today. But that's a deeper conversation for another episode because trust me, we're going to dive into all of that eventually. I've always loved deep conversations that kind of make you feel seen, that challenge you, that make you think. I've always had my own experience with healing, unlearning, and breaking cycles, and I know how powerful it is to feel like you're alone in all of that. That's why I'm here. I want this to be a space where we can talk about the things that don't always get talked about, where we remind ourselves that healing is messy, but it's possible. Also, before we go any further, I apologize in advance if I mess up while making these episodes. I always say I'm perfectly imperfect. So just so you know, I'm figuring this out as I go, and that's okay. And one of my biggest goals with this podcast is consistency, like not from just for myself, but for all of y'all listening. Ideally, my goal is to drop episodes like once a week. That is either on Thursdays or Sundays. I'm still figuring out like a whole routine for myself, so just bear with me. But stay tuned because we're like making this a thing. And hey, if you ever want to poke my brain about something or there's a topic you want me to talk about, don't be shy. Hit me up. Follow my Instagram, Speaking Into the Void podcast. On my profile, you'll find like all my links. So I have Amazon Music. I have, the Spotify, right? And I have YouTube. And I'm working on all the other links as of now. But let's engage. I'd love to hear from you and bring your ideas onto this podcast. So don't hesitate to hit me up. So wherever you're listening to my podcast, here's the start of stepping out of my comfort zone. Thank you all for being here and supporting, for listening and allowing me to share more about myself. Until the next episode, take care of yourself, continue to be true to yourself, and keep speaking into the void.